So, what if instead of being written in factored form, what if instead our quadratic is written in general? So an equation like this, x squared minus 9x plus 20 is 0. So to find the roots of this equation, first we have to factor the left side to find it in factored form, and then we can find the roots. So to do that, let's try practicing factoring. Remember, if you can remove a common factor, do that first. Can't always, but if you can, do that. So in this case, okay, x squared minus 9x plus 20. This is a simple quadratic, so I don't have to decomp it. I can just do this by inspection. So what are my factors here? Things that multiply to 20 but add to negative 9. How about negative 4 and negative 5? Right, negative 4 times negative 5 equals positive 20. That's negative 9, okay? So x minus 4 is 0, or x minus 5 is 0. X minus 4 is 0, then x equals 4. X minus 5 is 0, then x equals 5. So the roots are 4 and 5. Simple.
I was doing that so
I said that.
Okay, so let's try this. X squared minus 5x minus 14 is 0. Okay, so we're wondering what things add to negative 5 but multiply to negative 14. Yeah, negative 7 and positive 2. Nice. So we have x minus 7 times x plus 2 equals 0. So that means x minus 7 is 0, or x plus 2 is 0. Oh, 7 plus 7, x is 7. Or minus 2, x is negative 2. And so you can say x is equal to yes. That's right.
You're the only one celebrating.
I feel pretty excited. You're not excited?
No.
Feel like a new superpower? No. Oh, but this one's hard. I don't know how to do it. I've forgotten everything I know about different squares.
I'm on
Help me, please. I can't.
I lie.
Bilal, you are a contestant on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. This is your $1 million question, but you still have 3 lifelines. Would you like to answer it? Phone a friend? Do 50-50, which isn't very good on a not multiple choice question. Or ask the audience.
It's a 5-man week. So, 1, 2.
This is not an option.
What boy?
You sound like you know a different Who Wants to Be a Millionaire than I do. $0. Okay. Anyone else want to help? And yes, Brianna.
2 and 5.
2 and 5? What do you mean?
What square?
Oh, so I just write 2 and 5 are the answers.
Yes, those are the answers.
Uh,
You're welcome.
ah!
You're welcome, guys.
Okay, nice. This is Brianna's absolutely right. So this here is 2x squared, 4 squared.
Oh.
This is 5
Hey, I was
squared.
learning something.
The difference of squares. So what we have here is
It's negative 5.
2x minus 5 times 2x plus 5 is equal to 0. Going back, difference of squares. Also, by the way, if you're looking at something like this, I don't remember anything I've ever learned in school. Maybe what you could think is, okay, I do remember that decomposition thing, and I could say this is 4x squared plus 0x, because there's 0 x's, minus 25. And you could say, okay, what things multiply together to give me negative 100, but add together to give me 0? Oh, those things that multiply to 100 and add to, okay, that's negative 10 and positive 10. So I could have done this by decomp. 4x squared minus 10x plus 10x minus 25, and you could have just factored from there. But we also know there's a different squares. Okay, anyways, blah, blah, blah. How do we solve this at this point? Yeah?
How'd you get the 2x minus 5 and 2x plus 5?
I was doing a great job paying attention in lesson 1 of this unit, and I remembered what I learned about difference of squares. That anytime where I have a difference of 2 squares, like this, I can write it as the square root of the first one minus the square root of the second one, and then the square root of this one times the square root of this one. But I also recognize if I wanted to decomp it, things that multiply to negative 100, add to 0, split my middle one 10, 10, and then I could just factor that. So I'd factor out 2x, be left with 2x minus 5, plus I would factor out 5, be left with 2x plus 5, or minus 5. And then I'd have, okay, 2x plus 5, 2x minus 5. So factor by decomp or by remembering different squares. Anyways, at this point, so either 2x minus 5 is 0, or 2x plus 5 is 0.
2.5 is x plus.
Yep. So x is 5 over 2, or x is negative 5 over 2, positive or negative 2.5. I just want decimals. I'll listen to once. And you could write them separate. You could write negative 2.5, positive 2.5. You could also write them as 5 over 2, or 2 and 1/2, whatever. Remembering improper fractions, mixed fractions, and decimals are 3 ways of writing the same number. Oh, okay. I see another one. This is a bit hard. Neither 10 nor 90 are squares. What would divide with it? Is there an x I can factor out also?
Yo, you
Yeah.
dropped
Okay, so let's factor out 10x. And what am I left with?
1.
Yeah, sure, x.
Minus, yeah, 9.
Okay, so now I have two things that can be 0. Either 10x can be equal to 0, or x minus 9 can be equal to 0. So in this case, x is 0, divided by 10. 0 divided by 10 is 0. Wow, contrary possibly. And x minus 9 is 0, plus 9, plus 9, x equals 9. So x equals to 0, 4, 9. Nice. This is factoring business. Oh, now we have a really similar one. What's different with these two?
There's no X on
No x, okay. So I'm still going to factor in a common factor. Is there anything in that? Okay, so 10. And I'm left with x squared minus 9. Okay, now how do I factor x squared minus 9? Oh, yeah. So I can do that difference of squares, so I'm left with 10 times x minus 3 times x plus 3. So x is equal to either negative 3 or positive. Right, this is 0 or this is 0. So this one is 3 makes that one 0. Negative 3 makes this one 0. Yes. All in favor?
No.
Opposed? Have a heart. Yes, you do. Can you believe that, Bilal? Those classmates, I tell you. Yeah, I'm a dictator. I'm kind of like Duarte, one of those South American puppet dictators. Pretend they're. I'm like
The Senate will strike back.
pretending I'm elected. They really don't know what's happening.
Mr. Boyce, you must elect senators in order to rule a empire.
What if the senators disagree with my beliefs?
Then
Should I pull it?
You
Should I pull
hired
a
them.
commission? And
execution.
I hired them, so I mean,
good point. Okay, this is hard. I don't know how to do this.
thanks.
Distributed Alexa.
All 3.
What?
Okay, wait. Now let's just notice something.
Nothing.
Let's just notice something. There are several things that can be done here. First of all, let's read this. When solving a quadratic equation by factoring, the quadratic equation must have all the terms on one side of the equation and 0 on the other side, okay? It's usually easier to factor if the coefficient of x squared is positive, okay? That sounds nice. So in this case, yes, I'll listen to Ashley, I'll distribute a property. Don't just do that blindly, but I think she's onto something. So let's start out by going, okay, this is x squared minus 4x. And now it says, get all the terms on one side, so minus 5 from both sides. So now we've made this whole thing equal to 0. X squared minus 4x minus 5 is 0. Okay. So how do I factor this? What multiplies to negative 5 and adds to negative 4? Right. Yeah. 1 and negative 5. So x minus 5 times x plus 1. Okay. So x is equal to 5 for x equals negative 1. I kind of just want to check something. Just curious. This is an investigation I'm wondering about. What if I was like, I see this x times x minus 4 equals 5. What if instead of moving this over, I just asked, okay, what makes x equal 5 or x minus 4 equal 5? So let's just go over here where I have lots of space. X times x minus 4 5. What if instead I just said, okay, what makes x equal 5 for x minus 4 equal 5, right? Because I was asked what is equal 5.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can do that. So this one's x equals 5, x minus 4, so plus 4, plus 4. What is that? 5. Oh, so I do end up with a slight issue here. It appears that I somehow made a math error at some spot in this. Oh, and you know why? It's because it's not like saying whatever this is times the other thing actually ends up equaling 5. When I was doing it this way, I'm relying on the fact that 0 times something else still equals 0. And when doing this, I thought, oh, this will be so much easier. I'll just leave it as 5 on the other side. Well, it sort of works for the one root by dumb luck, but it doesn't really work for the other one because this times this doesn't equal 5. So though this seemed like a nice shortcut, it doesn't work. It really is key that we're using that zero-sum property. We're saying whatever the first one times the second one is equal to 0 to find that, okay? So we can't just take that simple shortcut, which, Mr. Boyce thought would be a nice idea. Instead, we need to make it so the whole thing is equal to 0 and then sort it out. Okay? Too bad. Okay. So the quadratic equation must have all the terms on one side of the equation and 0 on the other side to find the roots. Okay, B, let's do it. What should I do first here? Sure, sounds good. You could go either way, but definitely if we have the choice, it's usually easier to factor if the coefficient of x squared is positive, so let's do that. 0 equals 3x squared minus 13x minus 10. And now we're thinking, okay, something times something is negative 30. It adds to negative 13. Good try, but negative 10 times negative 3 is positive 30. So I think 15 and 2 works, right? We're really asking what's the difference of 13 here. Because one of them has to be positive, one has to be negative. I, of course, also thought 10 and 3 first, but no, that 10 and 3 would give us a positive 30. So negative 15, positive 2. And now we finish back by grouping. Sorry. Backwards. Alright, first group. 3x can be factored out, left with x minus 5. Second one, 2 can be factored out, left with x minus 5. Excellent. X minus 5 times 3x plus 2 equals 0. I found in general, most of us can see that this one, what makes it 0 is 5. But this one is usually a little bit harder for us to see, so most of the time you end up having to do work there. Right, so x minus 5 is 0, or 3x plus 2 equals 0. Some of you will see that that's equal to negative 2/3, but usually we kind of just need to go, okay, plus 5, plus 5. So this one, x is 5. This other one, minus 2, minus 2, 3x equals negative 2, another 3, another 3. X equals negative 2 over 2. So we find that x was either negative 2 over 3 or 5. Those are our solutions for our roots. Good? Alright, get to it. I will, give me a minute, I'd written down actually a couple questions you didn't need to do, let me tell you. Do up to 9. Okay. Up to 9, and on 5 also, there's a bunch, so feel free to just do 4 of them.
Okay.
So 1, 2, and 5, just do like 4 of the ones, and then do the rest of it. Okay.